Good afternoon to all American football fans from the frequencies of FIDAF TV. My name is Francesco Porcello, and once again I will be your announcer for this afternoon's game. You're looking live at K-Pro Arcoveggio Stadium in Bologna, where in half hour we will kick off the third place match of the 2019 European Under-19 Championships between the home side Denmark and the visitors France. Earlier today, in the two matches played at Lunetta Gamberini Stadium, Italy beat Norway 37-20 in the 7th place game, and Finland won a thrilling game over Spain 13-9 to capture 5th place. Tonight at 9 p.m. here on this field, the main event will be the championship game between Austria and Sweden. My partner in the broadcast booth for this afternoon's game is my friend Dario Grippa.
Good afternoon.
Denmark started their tournament with a good win over Italy and gave us the impression that they could really give Austria a run for the money in the semi-finals. As we all saw, it wasn't the case, as Austria easily handled the Danish team with a sound 45-6 victory. Their opponent in today's match is France. The French team shook off some early butterflies against Finland in their opening match and came on strong with 30 unanswered points in the second half. The semi-final between France and Sweden was a hard-fought defensive battle, with Sweden eventually emerging victorious 7-0 and relegating France to the third-place match. Dario, what should we expect from today's game?
This afternoon we are going to watch two very similar teams. Team Denmark has shown a tendency to rely on their running game, with a great committee of 3 running backs, very complementary between them. On the other side, their pass offense is good for just 7th place after 2 games. They'll face the second best total defense that has allowed only 46 yards per game, with an average of 2 yards per carry. So they will need their best effort to run against the French team. Looking at the respective counterparts, the French offense is also built to run with almost 5 yards per carry, second only to Austria. The Danish rush defense had a hard time on Thursday stopping the Austrians' running game, but we know that the defending champions are very good at that. Let's get ready for some good old smash-mouth football.
Thank you, Dario, and I'd like to say hello to our men from the field that will deliver our pre-game interviews. Good afternoon to Manfredi Leone.
Good afternoon, friends and colleagues. We are here in Arcoveggio field after covering a long morning with the other two finals yet played, 7th and 5th place. Here I am with Coach Emmanuel Maguire from Team France. Thank you, Coach, for being with us. Good luck, good afternoon. So you are facing Denmark now. We arrive with this game with a 500 yards total offense in 2 games played. Tough games, close games, interesting championship indeed. It's going to be penalties for your team, something that you have to change, because we saw last one was a little bit affected by that.
Yeah, definitely. That's something we talk about the last 2 days. Now we got to be more focused, more disciplined to make sure we get out of Italy with a bronze medal.
What do you expect from Team Denmark today? They are physical for sure.
It's been the third Nordic team we play in a week, so I think that we're going to be the same with Sweden and Finland. They are tough, athletic, they hit hard. We just have to answer.
They prefer to run more than pass the ball. So what about your defense?
Yeah, they like to run the ball, so we got to stop them and make sure if they want to beat us, they got to throw the ball.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much for your third Nordic team in 1 week, and good luck for the afternoon.
Thank you.
Here we had Coach Maguire from Team France. I release you the line for a couple of minutes, and I will ask Coach Lars Carlsen to come to me.
Thank you, Manfredi. Let's take a few moments to look at the 2 players that we chose, Dario, as the players to watch for today's game. For the home side of Denmark, we chose the second running back in 2 games. As we already mentioned, Denmark has a very strong, powerful running game. Our choice today fell for number 24, August Lillie, a running back of 17 years, 1.89 m for 100 kilos for this very unorthodox north-south runner from the Copenhagen Towers. In the first 2 games, August has totaled 108 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. The choice on the French team came on Clément Chevalier, number 23, a defensive back of 19 years. He is 1 meter and 82 per 80 kilograms from the Thetford Bury Saints. Clément Chevalier is also the kicker and punter for the French team, and his score so far on the defensive side of the ball reads, as you can see, 6.5 tackles and 3 interceptions for 111 yards, and one of those 3 interceptions, as you can see, was a pick 6.
Sorry, Francesco, if I stop you one moment, but I take advantage to have Coach Lars Carlsen here with me on the 50s. Thank you to be with us, Coach. A very quick interview about the game. You approached this game with a 440 yards total offense in 2 games, and France is ready for you, and you're ready for France. My partners were presenting number 24, Lily, as one of the key players of this game. What's your comment about?
I think you're pretty right. Like, he's one of the guys that we have to rely on. If he's doing that for the first 2 games, and he'll probably have a key role today as well, together with the offensive line.
Probably like Denmark, French is a run-based offense, so it's going to be a defensive game.
It will be a defensive game, we know that, and we are working on getting our passing game up and running, and this is one of our focus points, that we really like to have some kind of passing game going on today. But if we can't, we'll run the ball as we did the 2 other games.
We had a light wind today that was affecting a bit the game of Finland and Spain. Now it's a bit cold, but it's going to make some pressure on you, this?
No, the wind is, the way the wind is right now is not a problem at all. That's fine, there's no problem whatsoever.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much. Thank you for your time and good luck for the afternoon. We will talk later in the halftime.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. This is Coach Carlsen talking to us at our mics before the game. So now from the field is all, everything is ready. In a few minutes, we will kick off the ball. We will provide you more stats and more interviews after. So go ahead and keep the line.
Thank you, Manfredi. Dario, we received a very important piece of information today upon our arrival on the field. France will not have neither of the starting and backup quarterback available today. Both Leo Cremade and Matteo Colombe are injured, and Coach Maguet has decided not to risk either player. So we will see at the helm of the French offense, number 8, Maceo Baird, 19 years from the Pessac Kangaroos. Do you think this will affect the ratio, pass-to-run ratio of the French offense, or do you think that they will try and stay with their standard playbook?
Francesco, my first guess is that that will change quite nothing for Team France. After 2 games, they're just passing for 85 yards with a 4.0 average. They deadly last as a pass offense in this tournament, so probably they will stay put on their plan to rely on the running game. Basically, we cannot know how good this new guy could be at throwing the ball, because we have him listed as a defensive back, but usually you know that mostly on the junior teams it's quite common to play double platoon football. So probably he has some experience at playing quarterback. He's not probably just a defensive back. So probably we will see the same type of play France has shown in the first 2 games.
I agree, although I imagine that from a nerve standpoint and from a concentration standpoint, probably for a third string quarterback, a third place medal game is not the best time to start your quarterbacking career, but we will see if it's possible that Maceo will rise to the occasion and deliver a good game for the French national team. Meanwhile, I asked our broadcast crew to bring up the nations' resumes for both Denmark and France. First, the home side, Denmark, already 8 times present in the final phase of the Under-19 European Championships. Their best placement was the 2nd place in the 2017 New York IFAF New York edition of the European tournament. The first game ever played by the Under-19 Danish team was a loss by 1 point in Berlin on 4th of August 1994, while their last game was the loss in the Scandinavian, in the Nordic Games against Norway, 35-12 on the 21st of October 2018. Meanwhile, the visiting team, France, 11 times present, the French team. They have already won twice the under-19 Euros in 2004 and 2006. They have played their first game beating Great Britain 7-6 in Toulon on the 1st of September 1992, and their last game, of course, they lost the championship game of the European Championships played in Denmark, IFAF Paris, that was played in Villepinte on the 16th of July 2017 by the score of 17-7 to Austria. So Dario, I imagine that the French would have really liked to meet Austria again, because it would have meant that we would have had for 2 European Championships in a row the same final game. It was not the case, as the Swedish defense, we have already mentioned, really put the clamps on the French offensive game and was able to shut out France 1 touchdown to nothing in their semi-final game.
Yeah, France came very close to playing another final again against Team Austria, but Team Sweden has shown another great defense and just a little bit more great than them. They've played a very nice game. They played their football, their smash mouth football. They came very close, but as we know, in a so close game, it's just question of details, and we can say that one of the 2 best teams go in the final. So they very shown to be at the same level, and just some episodes made one team making the final for the first place and the other one playing this one for the third.
I agree, and having seen Denmark play twice here in Arcoveggio, I think that it will be a very hard-fought game today. Perhaps France is to be preferred from a defensive standpoint, while probably the Danish running game has really shown us something extra. Meanwhile, as we wait for the introduction of our crews today, and also, of course, of the starting lineups, let's take a quick look at the coaching staffs of the 2 teams. For Denmark, coach Lars Carlsen, it's also head of mission. The offensive coordinator is Daniel Lassen. Thomas Kipp is the defensive coordinator, and Simon Sonnesen takes care of the special teams. Morten Ramsgaard coaches the quarterbacks. Nikolai Kesseler, the halfbacks. Adrian Teague, the running backs. Steven McCusker is the offensive line coach. Torben Bodilsen, the defensive line coach. Simon Rasmussen is the linebacker coach. Asger Brostrom and Lau Hartoft take care of the defensive backs. And Jon Skjorbæk is the team manager. With regard to France, Emmanuel Meguet is the head coach. Steve Gersant is the offensive coordinator. Jean-Baptiste Gassier, the defensive coordinator. Quentin Danes, offensive lines. Laurent Marcelin, running backs. Ryan Joanneau, wide receivers. Thomas Chakarian, defensive line. Theo Servan, linebackers, and Johan de Brabant, defensive backs. Olivier Moret is the head of the French mission. Meanwhile, let's introduce today's refereeing crew for the bronze game.
Today the referee is Mr. Veiko Laminsalo, the umpire is Olivier Caldes, the center judge is Christian Horgensen, linesman is Magnus Magnusson, line judge Riccardo Zampedri, field judge Michael Kren, side judge Matthias Kalgenner, and back judge Stéphane Lascour.
as the refereeing crew, it's also being introduced here at the stadium, and while we wait to point our cameras to the field entrance to watch the starting lineups, Dario, a little update on the statistics.
Francesco, we were talking about the French defense. French defense is second in this tournament, only behind the Austrian one. In 2 games, they allowed just 301 yards, good for the second place, as we mentioned in the tournament, with just an average of 150.5 yards a game and an average of 2.8. So a great defense that will test in a very hard way the Danish offense. The Danish offense is in this tournament just the number 6 after 2 games, with a 222 yards average per game. In the last game against the number 1 defense, the Austrian one, we have seen the Danish offense in a very hard difficulty. It was very hard to run the ball. It was quite impossible to throw the ball.
Meanwhile, on the left side of the field, if we can get our cameras to have a look, we have the entrance of the French team.
And I'm very honored to introduce the starting lineup as for Team France. Number 74, Yanis Calito. Number 76, William Palais. Number 75, Leo Bonnet. Number 72, Yassine Gara. Number 59, Luca Panagno. Number 84, the tight end, Carlos Manico. And the number 81 receiver, Nays Tarawi. Number 83, Gaben Rio. Number 30, Bedford Keita. Number 40, Florian Monduc. And the quarterback is now Marcel Bard.
As you heard from the live voice of the stadium, our graphics did not have the starting quarterback. That will be number 8, Maceo Berg, once again for the French team due to physical problems to the other 2 quarterbacks not available for Coach Magui.
I introduce the home team now in the third fourth match. Team Denmark!
And here is the entry of the home team, Team Denmark.
Number 95,
we are just completing with the entrance of the Danish coaching staff the presentation of the two teams of this third place game. Now the Danish team will line up to the left of your TV screens, and then we will go to the national anthems of the two teams. Then we will have the coin toss and the beginning of this bronze match between Denmark and France. And now, as most of the preliminaries have been completed, we are only a coin toss away from the beginning of this third place match. Let's remind our friends home once again that Italy came out a winner over Norway in the 7th place game 37-20 this morning, and immediately after that it was Finland chasing Spain for the entire game and passing it at the very end for a very thrilling nail-biter 13-9. Two very good games, high-scoring game, the affair between Italy and Norway, and one of those typical football games that you have to remain on the couch and watch until the last play, the match between the fifth place match between Spain and Finland. Let's hope, Dario, that today's game will also be an exciting one.
I'm sure that will be, Francesco. I don't expect really...
Here's the coin. You can call U19 here or the player. What is your call? Player called. It's U19. Team Denmark has won the toss. You want to receive. What end do you want to defend? Okay, let's go that way. Team Denmark will receive the ball. Have a good game.
So Denmark has won the coin toss, and Coach Carlsen has decided that he wants to see his offense on the field immediately. Dario, finishing your thought.
Yeah, I will say that I expect a very close game, a very nice game, enjoyable, but I'm not sure that will be a nice scoring game. We have two very good rushing defenses against two very good rushing offenses, so probably the game will be not so long on the clock. They will spend a lot of time running the ball on the ground. Probably there will be a close game, but not so high scoring.
33 degrees is the field temperature with a humidity of 34%. So hot, not extremely humid. And we're only moments away from kicking off the bronze medal match of this Euro 2019. The Danish return team is already on the field, and the France kicking team, led by our player to watch, number 23, Clément Chevalier, ready to kick off.
Espersen and Boos are ready to return.
And here we go. The ball falls in front of David Espersen, that picks it up on the 19, finds immediately the right sideline, eludes a pair of would-be tacklers, and is finally brought down by the French special team around the 35 for a first down and 10. And we will see once again Alex Schwartz, number 11, leading the Danish offense. Dario, Denmark not a passing team.
Definitely not a passing team. Their passing offense is good just for the 7 points in this tournament, but they are really good at running, so let's expect probably around a 70-30 ratio for the run.
Spread offense, man in motion for Alex Schwartz, but it is immediately a handoff. So the first play of the game is a running one, extremely well read by the French defense. It is our player to watch, August Lillier, the ball carrier, number 24. 1 yard gain, 2nd and 9.
As we mentioned, is the number 2 rushing defense in the tournament. So that Team Denmark will need a lot of effort to run on them.
Over formation, 3 receivers right. Once again, as it was the case on the play before, Julius Bunk in motion, looks to the right and to number 3, Victor Mazzanti, the wide receiver. The ball falls incomplete, and we will have our first third down of the game. Third down and 9 for the Danish offense that has sputtered on these first 2 plays with a very short run and an incomplete pass. Immediately the up-tempo Danish offense almost right away back up on the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers slide. It is a handoff to Lillie that lost some yards and the first drive of the game results in a 3-and-out for the Danish team.
Great penetration by Luka Mihailovic, the defensive lineman, 19 years old. He has
Lasse Torso, number 16 for Denmark, ready to punt. 2 returners on this punt on this play. Gabin Le, number 83, and Elia Krame, number 16. The ball is picked up by number 18 and returned all the way to the Danish portion of the field, and he's finally brought down on the 39-yard line. A very good return for the French team.
A lot of missed tackles, Francesco, during this return. Team Denmark for sure will need to tackle better than this if they want to stop Team France.
And now finally we will see Maceo Berd in action with the French team. Flags on the play, the play is stopped.
False start. Offense, number 59. 5 yards penalty. Still first down.
After the penalty, we have a 1st and 15 to play for Team France. So his man in motion is an end around by number 30, well contained by the Danish defense and tackled by number 37, Frederick Dalsgaard. It was Redval Keita running the ball.
Good run by the French offense, and ball that goes back to the original line of scrimmage where we will be playing a 2nd down and 10.
Chop block on the offense, number 74 and 75. That's 15 yards penalty. Repeat first down.
So another play vanished by a penalty by Team France. This time it was a chop block on the line. So as we explained on Thursday, one offensive lineman blocked above the waist and the other one, the same player, below the waist. So it's a dangerous situation for the defender.
74 and 75, the guilty players. So now it will be first down and 30 for the Spanish side. Once again, it is a handoff and a very good run. The ball not only goes back to the original line of scrimmage, but there is even some extra gain for number 26, Yanis Bakanti-Poulin, for a gain of 25 and a very manageable 2nd down and 5. So France has already showed us that they are able to run against the Danish defense. Meanwhile, number 81 in motion for France, David Traoré, but it is once again a handoff, this time well read by the front 4 of the Danish defense. 3rd down coming up, Dario.
Yeah, the play before has shown a great fake on the outside and the Danish defense was taken off balance by the fake. This time, with no fake, they have done a great job stopping the inside run. They're very good in the box.
So thank you to our friends from home for the pronunciation of Yanis Polin, the running back. Meanwhile, on third down, the runner goes nowhere, but there is a flag on the play. So let's wait for the crew to give us the result of this penalty. Definitely not a first down for France on this third down play.
Offsides, defense number 65. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Mads Siodin, the guilty party, and he is really guilty, Dario, as he gives a free first down to the French offense that now has a very good field position on the 29-yard line, 1st and 10. Once again, Polin, the ball carrier, once again, after an initial gain of approximately 2 yards, he's met by the Danish defense. Second down coming up. Let's see what the mark is. 1 yard, actually, so it's 2nd and 9.
Team France wants to explore how can they run on the inside the hash mark, and they want to set some play on the outside, making Danish defense to stay very close.
Maceo Baird under center for this 2nd down and 9. Motion, and once again, Polin is the ball carrier. This time a little bit more difficult for the Danish defense to bring him down. Second effort for the French runner that comes close to the first down marker. It will be 3rd and short, 3rd down and only 1 yard for the French team that will spot this ball from the red zone, because the ball is halfway between the 19 and the 20-yard line. Polin still in the French backfield, and again Traoré in motion. And there is a fumble, and it is recovered by the Danish team. I don't see flags, Dario. First turnover of the game, and the ball belongs to Denmark.
Yeah, bad handling by the running back. Let's see the handoff, and he haven't had the possess of the ball in this action. It was a good run. It looked like there were a lot of room for running the ball inside, but this very bad handling of the ball makes another first down for Team Denmark.
1st and 10, 6:36 to play in the first quarter for the Danish team. Still no score here in Arcoveggio. It's a pass on the left side for number 84 of Denmark, Julius Bunk, that takes the ball towards the near sideline for a gain of almost 17 yards and a first down for the Danish team that, as it is now, we are used to seeing, they're immediately back on the line of scrimmage. This time it is a handoff to number 31, Magnus Norgard. He explores the right side, but it is met for only a short gain by the French defense. Only 1 yard, 2nd down and 9. Back to pass again, Alex Schwartz. He finds his receiver, Victor Mazzanti. And I believe that with his initial effort, he had first down yardage. And in fact, the chains are moving. Again, first down for Denmark. Both teams moving the ball well, but just not being able to put points on the board, Dario.
Francesco, Denmark wants to exploit the pass defense of France, which is the...
And here is again a pass, incomplete to Bunk, the intended receiver. Dario.
The pass defense is the area of the French defense which is more exploitable. So the game plan probably will rely on checking it and try to move the change on the air.
Second and 10 for Denmark, ball on the 48-yard line. Two receivers left, two receivers right for Schwarz. He goes back to pass. The pass is tipped up in the air and intercepted by number 23, Clément Chevalier. Dario, once again, we are rewarded for our choice of player to watch as Chevalier brings home his fourth interception of the tournament. Very easy, let's say, interception, because as we see here in the replay, no, this is not the replay of the interception. The ball was tipped up in the air in volleyball style, and it was not an overly difficult interception. But it is the fourth time that Chevalier picks off the opposing quarterback, and it is now a first down and 10 from the 36-yard line for the French offense.
Chevalier is a ball hawk. He's really hungry for the ball. This time, probably the less difficult interception for him of the tournament.
And another fumble by the French team. I think that Baird was able to recover the ball himself. 2 flags on the play. So let's wait for the call from the refs.
False start, illegal snap, offense number 75, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
The penalty is enforced 5 yards against the French offense that will now move back and play a first down and 15. Still Yannis Paulin, the feature back for the French offense. And still David Traoré, the man in motion. The ball is on the ground again. And I believe Traoré himself recovered the fumble. So a little bit of difficulty in this initial phase of the match for the French team, Dario. They have put the ball on the ground an alarming number of times.
The Danish defensive line is making a lot of pressure. They want to play aggressive. They want to make things very hard for the center. They want to try to anticipate the snap and moving at the very beginning of the ball's movement. So very hard for the center to snap in a legal way.
Let's not forget also that the quarterback is probably taking his first snaps in a game, at least in this tournament. Meanwhile,
Timeout, Team France.
France almost ran the time clock down to 0 and therefore called timeout before receiving a delay of game penalty. Here is the... No, I thought it was the replay of the interception. I think this is the play before the interception. .436 to play in this first quarter, and at least for these first 8 minutes, as you had, as your forecast stands correct, so far no scoring in this game. Even though both teams have been moving the ball well, France more running and Denmark more passing. Once again, second and 15 for this time, second and 14 for France. This time the handoff is to number 30, Redval Keita, that takes the right sideline. It gains a first down, is still up on the 40, on the 35, and then he's finally driven out of bounds by David Tawake, number 1, but not before a gain of over 25 yards on this run and a first down for France.
Francesco, Team France was running the ball inside the hash mark to prepare this kind of play. They are very dangerous, reverting the field with this some kind of end around by the H-backs.
Very good run by Keita and a first down for France on the 35-yard line. The handoff is once again to Keita, this time looking for some space on the left sideline. Again, Tawake leading the charge together with David Elkvist on the tackle for Denmark. There is a gain of approximately 4 yards, but also a flag on the field. So let's wait for the call.
Illegal block below the waist. Offense, number 76. 15-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Block below the waist by number 76, Iliam Tamer, the guilty party for France. And it's a big one because it's a 15-yard penalty that pushes France back to the 46-yard line, where they will play a first down and 25 yards to go. Number 27 from France appeared to move before the snap without setting. Audrien Clicquot.
False start. Offense, number 59. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
5 more yards for France, Stadio, that has picked up 20 yards of penalty on this portion of their offensive drive. And with this 5 yards, they're pushed back into their own portion of the field.
Probably with a not so good passing game, it's not the smartest choice to lose so much yards by penalty.
Another fumble. The ball is eventually picked up by Beard, but he can only move back a couple of steps and then encounter the Danish defense, led once again by David Tawake, already man of the match in these past days, one of the top defensive players of this tournament. We will look at Tawake's statistics in a few moments, Dario, if possible. Second down, and the ball has moved back 3 more yards, so there is 33 yards to go until a first down for France. Audrien Clicquot, the ball carrier for France. A good gain on this run of approximately 8 yards. Third down coming up for France.
Tawake had 8 tackles in the previous 2 games, but outside the numbers, his presence in this defense is very important. He's on every play. He's some sort of quarterback of the defense. He's one of the more experienced players in this roster.
Third down, 21 yards to go for France to gain a first down. Again, as always, Traoré in motion. The ball is a reverse to number 83, Gabin Le, but the Danish defense sniffs the trick play by France, and the ball goes back again into the French portion of the field. Fourth down, and definitely a punt coming up for France and for Clément Chevalier, number 23.
Danish defense wants to be aggressive, wants to stay in the French backfield and try to make things very complicated in the handling of the ball for the quarterback, which we know is not really a quarterback.
Magnus Boost, number 82, back to receive the punt from Denmark. He's stationed on the 10-yard line. The clock goes down to 0, and there is a flag thrown by the back judge.
Delay of game. Offense. Number 23. 5-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
An encouraging first drive for France, Dario, where they had moved the ball well up until the fumble. A not so encouraging second drive, where a lot of limits are coming up. In particular, I don't know the exact total, but I've counted 4 or 5 penalties against Team France on this drive. Once again, Chevalier ready to punt. It is a slow roller that will die on the 23. No return for Team Denmark. First and 10 Denmark. Manfredi.
Just to answer your call, we have Team France 5 penalties and 41 yards and 3 fumbles.
So a little series of problems on the offensive drive for France. Certainly the pressure of the Danish offense and the new quarterback will probably stabilize his position as the game goes on. Meanwhile, wing formation for Denmark. 2 receivers right, 1 receiver left, but it's a handoff to David Espersen. Met immediately by number 14, Jonas Pernier and Clément Chevalier. Loss on the play, tackle for loss. Second down and 14 coming up for Denmark. Two receivers left, and it's number 84 on the left side, Julius Bunk, catching the ball. It's a short pass. The gain is 6 yards. Third down and 8 coming up for Denmark.
The French defense is showing today just a base package with 7 men in the box, with a classical 4-3 formation, sometimes a 4-3 under. Also this time we can see a basic 4-3 alignment.
Receivers on the right side in bunch for Denmark. Typical twin on the left, the quarterback screaming to his center. A flag is up. Meanwhile, the ball is caught by number 89, Andreas Paske, the H-back. And if the play should stand, it is good for a Danish first down. Let's see what the call was. It was the headlinesman throwing the flag.
Offside, defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
The Danish offense is doing a great job changing the sound of the arc count. It's the second time in a row that they create some early movement on the French defensive line.
First down and 10 for the Danish team. The ball is positioned on the 34-yard line. Timeout on the field, I believe. And it is not a timeout, apologies, it's the end of the first quarter. So teams that will change their position on the field. Still no score, but a good game between France and Denmark.
Francesco, I think that the Team Denmark is doing an amazing job changing his way of playing the ball. They decided not to rely on their great running game. They want to explore the possibility to throw the ball, and in this quarter they show that they can do that.
More methodical, more, let's say, orderly, the Danish attack. The French attack more confused, but then when it comes up in a correct way, some really big plays for them and huge chunk of yards gained by their offense. Lots of pressure for Alex Schwartz. There is a first, he was in the grasp a first time, he was able to escape, but he was caught finally by the strong pressure of the French defense. He goes down back at the original line of scrimmage.
We have some stats.
Second and 10 for Denmark. We will give you some stats immediately after this play. It is a handoff for Magnus Norgard. He takes the right sideline. He has a first down and more, and he goes out at midfield. First down, Denmark.
We can give you some stats from the first quarter. Total offense, France, 10 plays, 70 yards. Denmark, 11 plays, 40 yards. Quarterbacks are doing Nothing France, and 4-on-7 for Team Denmark, 1 interception.
Once again, the handoff for Team Denmark. And once again, immediate meeting with number 93 from France, Adnan Rekibi. Loss of 2, 2nd down and 12 coming up for Denmark.
Defensively, we have Alquist and Tawake with 2 solo and 1 assist. And on Team France, Pernier and Triboulet with 2 solos.
Good pass this time from Alex Schwartz, the connection with number 82, Magnus Boos. It should be a gain of approximately 10 that will make this a manageable 3rd down and 2 from the 44-yard line.
Francesco Schwarzer looks really more comfortable in the pocket this afternoon.
I agree, he looks more in control of his offense, and he's been able to move the ball. Let's also say that his receivers have not been dropping balls as much as we've seen in the past games. 3rd and 2, again Schwartz, back to pass. He's pushed out of the pocket from the French defense, and he's also forced into an errant throw, looking for Julius Bunk, number 84. The ball drops incomplete. Denmark on the 42. Let's see what Coach Carlsen wants to do, Dario.
Well,
I think that is time to play the 4th down. It's not the area to punt the ball. Probably you can risk a touchback, so better to try to make some points on the scoreboard.
And in fact, the offense remains on the field. And Alex Schwartz here picks up the ball, hands it off. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd effort for our player to watch, number 24, August Lillie. 1st down, Denmark. 17 years for August, 1 meter and 89, 100 kilograms from the Copenhagen Towers, and he used all 100 of those kilograms to gain another 1st down for Team Denmark. Two receivers left, 2 receivers right for Schwartz. 1st down and 10, ball on the 36-yard line. The ball is flipped to the left, again to Lillie. He looks for the left sidelines, and he has a very good gain of 6 yards. 2nd down and 4 coming up on the 31-yard line for Team Denmark, that now is establishing, Dario, a little bit more their running game, as they were relying more on the passing offense in the pass drive.
The running game is their signature in this tournament, so they're very good at doing that. And after a couple of drives in which they've passed more,
here again Schwartz looks and finds Julius Bunk in 1st down territory inside the red zone. 1st down and 10, Denmark on the 17-yard line.
Francesco, this team, Denmark, look different today.
Once again, immediate play for Denmark, looking for number 14, Jonathan Steinhauer. Incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10.
They are doing very well in passing game. If they can find some seams between the short zone and the deep zone, they can be very effective.
I think Coach Carlsen was not very happy with the outcome of the match against Austria, and definitely brought his team ready to play today. 2nd down and 10 for Denmark. 2 receivers right, 1 receiver left, and a flag comes up, and there was some movement on the Danish front 5, I think.
Full start. Offense, number 14. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Actually, it was the left side receiver, Jonathan Steinhauer, the man guilty on the penalty. 2nd down and 15 yards to go. France out of the Denmark out of the red zone. Same formation, 1 receiver left, 2 receivers right, and Lillie keeping company to Alex Schwartz on his left. but only for protection because Schwarz is putting the ball up in the air for Jonathan Steinauer. Touchdown, Denmark!
And a nice throw by Schwarzer, a nice zip in the corner, very well thrown.
Nice hands also by Steinauer to bring it down. And we have the first points of the game, and they're from Denmark, 6-0 Denmark.
Extra point.
28, Jakob Sundergaard to try the extra point. The kick, it's up, and it looks to be good. So a full touchdown now for Denmark that leads this third place game with 8:23 to go in the second quarter, 7-0 Denmark. And now let's see what the answer from Coach Méguet and also from Coach Gerson, the offensive coordinator of the French national team, will be to the Danish score. Our large and noisy Danish crowd celebrating these first points of the afternoon.
Looking at the replay, Francesco, we can see the mismatch in high between the receiver and the cornerback. There are approximately 19 centimeters between them, and it could be a matchup that it could be the case to explore during the game.
Yes. Sundergaard ready to kick to the two returners for the French team that are number 14 and number 16, Jonas Pernier and Elijah Cramé. Sundergaard, 17 years of age, defensive back by trade. It's an onside kick, but it is well read by number 84 of France, Terence Manigold, a tight end of 19 years. First down and 10, Dario, and a very, very tasty field position for the French offense.
Francesco, in the first half, when I see a fourth down played at midfield and an onside kick with just one scoring game, I say that Coach Carsten wants to be aggressive, wants to win this game, and wants to take French offense off the field.
First and 10 for France from the 43 and 47, and a very good run. He's not stopped. He is still up, and we were wondering what the answer of the French offense would be. Yanis Poulain, 6 points for France. Immediate touchdown, immediate response from the French team, and this game goes up in flames and gives us 13 points, perhaps 14 in a matter of a few plays, Dario. Very good run. Let's wait for the replay. Very good work by Poulain that enters the second and the third level of the Danish defense that looked confused on this play for the first time today. France on the scoreboard, awaiting the kick. Chevalier, the ball is up. And it's good. We have once again a tie game, Dario.
Probably that's why Coach Carsten wanted to keep the offense off the field, because this offense could be very dangerous, could hit your holes, and if you miss a tackle, you miss an assignment, you miss a gap, they're fast as rockets. These guys are really terrible in the open field.
Ramos Vesberg, number 2, and Lucas Bierg, number 12, the two safeties that were burned by the speed of Yanis Poulain. And just like that, we have a tie game, and we've given both fan bases the occasion to celebrate a touchdown for their team.
Give credit to the French offensive line. We have seen in the replay a couple of pancake blocks that leaded the way for the run.
The kick, the ball is up in the air, and it will be returned by the Danish team. It's number 30, David Espersen, also the top running back for the Danish team, returning the ball.
Julien Ismail at the tackle, and now we'll see again the Danish offense.
Ball on the 25 for Alex Schwartz that brings the offense back. Formation similar to the one that gave Denmark the first 6 points of the game, with Jonathan Steinhauser in isolation. But this time the pass goes to the H-back, Andreas Paske, for a good gain of 6 yards. 2nd and 4 coming up on the 31 for the Danish team. Lucas Bach, number 80, in motion, but it is a run up the middle for the Danish team, and it is a good run as the end result is a first down for Denmark. Once again, our player to watch, August Lillie, the star on this run that gives Denmark the ball on the 37-yard lines with a first down for the Danish team. Probably a little confusion on the spot. The ball comes back 1 yard to the 36, and it's there that we will restart the field operations with Denmark on the offense. Alex Schwartz calling the signals. It's a pass, but then a good coverage by the French secondary, and Schwartz decides to bring the ball upfield himself. It's a good gain for France. 6 yards on the run by Schwartz. 2nd down and 4 coming up.
And is it a complete pass to Jonathan Steinhauer, but probably this is not good for the first down.
The spot looks to be approximately 1 yard short, and it is. So 3rd down and 1, ball exactly on the 45-yard line for Denmark. Meanwhile, the clock keeps running, 6:13 to play in the 2nd quarter. Once again, 7-all is the score. We have an injured French player, a knee down for number 44, Mohamed Abdilali, a tight end of 19 years from the La Courneuve Flesh, evidently, Dario, not used in a tight end role on this play.
Yeah, our roster has him listed as a tight end, but he is also the starting weak side linebacker. As we mentioned before, most of these guys are used to play both offense, defense.
We have seen many players play both sides of the balls and often play them extremely well. Still 3rd down and 1 for Denmark. Blitz shown by the French linebackers. A flag falls on the field from the line judge. Let's hear.
Start on the offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
It was a best result possible for the French defense showing blitz. It confused the Danish offensive line to the point that it is now 3rd down and 6 after the 5 yards of penalties have been marked. Not on the same page, Schwartz and Steinhauer. The ball falls placidly on the Danish bench. 4th down coming up for Denmark. Ball on the 40-yard line on their side of the field.
Lasse Turso ready to punt for Danish team. The guy is the only player we have seen in this tournament listed just as a special team player.
Actually, this morning, as I ventured myself to Lunetta Dario, I saw Finland as a kicker and a punter on their roster, but we have not seen, obviously, Finland here at Arcoveggio. Meanwhile, the punt falls directly out of bounds. It's not a very good punt for him as the ball lands out of bounds at the 41-yard line. And that's where Matteo Baird will regain control of the operations as he will come back out on the field and lead the French offense in this tight third place battle between France and Denmark. 7-all the score, 5:36 to play. Once again, the ball is for number 26. That once again gashes through the middle of the Danish defense. This time it is not for a touchdown, but it is for a 20-yard gain. Once again, beautiful running by Yannis Poulain, number 26.
Another amazing job by the French offensive line. They're really creating highways, not holes on the line of scrimmage for this running back. On the other side, this guy, number 26, Yannis Bakari Poulain, is very fast, very agile, and very good at running the ball on the second level.
Again, Poulain, this time met by a swarm of Danish defenders. No gain on the play for Yannis Poulain, 19 years of age, 1.76 m per 80 kilograms from the Elancourt Templier, the club team of Yannis. Baird receives the play from Coach Gerson on the sidelines. 2nd and 10 for France. This time the handoff is for Redval Keita that explores the left offensive side of the field. But as it was the case in the play before, well read by the Danish defense, once again expecting a run and a minimal gain of approximately 1 yard on the play. 3rd down and 9, 3rd down and 8 coming up for the French side.
The Danish defense, after a slow start, are containing very well the outside runs, but in the last 2 drives we have seen that for doing that they are really a little bit exploitable in the inside the hash marks.
Exposing the inside. Meanwhile, the referees stop play because France, I believe, has called a timeout.
We have Team France with 11 plays and 117
Team France, that's their second team timeout.
yards, and Team Denmark with 21 plays and 110 yards. What is interesting, Francesco, is that we have an average in Team France of 10 yards per play, while Denmark is having an average of 5.2 yards.
As we were mentioning before, a more methodical and normal, let's say, offense from Denmark, capable of churning at 4 and 5 yards each play. France has taken a lot of penalties, a lot of plays with loss of yards on the play, and then they have had a few runs as the one that we are watching right now. Very good example of a running game by Yannis Poulain that have put their offense once again in a position to strike and to do some damage. 3rd and 9, ball on the 37-yard line for France. Traoré in motion, but it's a pass to Redval Keita, and it is a pass completed for a 1st down, Team France. just outside the red zone. The ball will be spotted on the 23-yard line. So a rare case, Dario, of
finally we can see Baird throwing the ball. And the left-handed guy has shown a good zip of the ball.
First and 10, France. We go back to the running game. We go back to Poulain, but I believe Denmark is pressing the box and trying now to adjust, as you were saying, to the gashing runs of Poulain that has seemed to find a little bit more difficulty in these past 2 or 3 plays, going straight up the middle. Second down, 8 yards to go for France. Once again, Poulain, this time he finds some open space. He remains at the center of the field, and he has a very good run of 12 yards. So, still no answer, I guess.
The guy is really elusive. He's very hard to tackle. He's a short guy, and he runs with a very low pad level. So both things put together in the same player could be a nightmare for the box players to stop him.
I agree, a combination of speed and elusiveness that makes it really difficult on the Danish defense. First down and goal for France, that is knocking once again at the Danish door and looking for points. It is again Poulain coming out on the right side. He is tackled, but not before. He has a gain of about 5 yards. I had the impression for a moment that he had lost his pants. I am not sure. Let's look here at the replay. Please cover the eyes of the ladies if my analysis is correct. Okay, he has the pad shorts, so there is no scandal on this play.
That's their first team timeout.
It will be second and goal for France. Meanwhile, Manfredi Leone leaves the broadcast booth to go down on the field for the traditional halftime interviews. 1:50 to play, with Denmark calling their first timeout. A good occasion, this timeout, to look at the moves of Yannis Poulain, that probably, Dario, is the early MVP candidate with his good running game. I am awaiting anxiously the halftime statistics because I think he has some very good numbers. In particular, his runs have a very high average, I think.
In this moment, my personal MVP is the French offensive line, because they're very responsible for a lot of the yards Poulain has run.
Number 84 in motion, but the handoff is for number 40, Florian Monduc, with a fullback physique, untouched into the end zone. Touchdown France. 13-7 the score, with Chevalier coming onto the field for the extra point. Everybody waiting for Poulain to pick up the ball, and instead, after a motion of 84 Manigold, it was number 40, Florian Monduc, a running back of 18 years of age, 180 kilograms per, 180 centimeters per 103 kilograms from the Pôle France Revolution. The kick from Chevalier is up, but and it is good. So the score is now France 14, Denmark 7, 1:46 to play. Once again, Manigold in motion, straight up Monduc, untouched, with the Danish defense confused by the formation used by the French offense, not able to put their hands on the runner. Number 82, Magnus Boos, and number 12, Lucas Bierg back to return the kickoff from Chevalier. Let's see if Denmark can squeeze in a good drive before halftime and perhaps put some points on the board. I'm sure that is what Coach Carlsen has in mind, and I'm sure we will see their hurry-up offense since we are below 2 minutes. Denmark still 2 timeouts. Very dangerous this choice.
To take a great risk because the ball was not showing so much willingness to go outside the bounds.
Bus decided not to return the ball.
Kicking team. 1st and 10 at 35-yard line.
And I think on the last bounce before dying, the ball actually finally rolled outside. So it's a penalty. And the ball will be placed on the 35-yard lines. So a risk that paid for Denmark that now needs to step it up on offense.
1:45, 2 timeouts, and a good up-tempo offense. Probably Francesco will be. It could be enough for the Team Denmark to move the chain for this drive.
Handoff to Magnus Norgard, met after a small gain by the French defense, led by number 91, Yves Coco, defensive lineman of 19 years of age. He is also from the Pôle France Révolution. 2nd down and 7. This time it is a pass for Steinauer that is met immediately. No gain for Denmark, that is using some very strange choices, some very strange calls from the playbook for Coach Carlsen. We have a 3rd down, apologies. He advanced a little bit more, and it was a 3rd down and 3. It is a quick pass to Julius Bunk. Nice catch. 1st down Denmark. Denmark now picking up some tempo and also some ground as they venture into French territory on the 49. Pitch to Norgard on the left side, guarding the area and making sure that there is no gain. Arnaud Bourkel, linebacker of 18 years, also from Pôle France Révolution. 2 receivers on the left side, 1 receiver on the right. Immediately Schwartz decides to run with the ball, and immediately number 71 for France brings him down. It's Olivier Guillen.
Timeout. Team Denmark. That's their 2nd team timeout.
Francesco, finally Team Denmark called for the timeout. They have used a lot of the time left on the clock, with just now, for now, 21 seconds on the clock. Probably they have spent too much time, don't you think?
Yes, I agree. And what is very strange is that in some portions, especially of the first quarter, they were coming up to the line faster than they are now in what is a 2-minute offense where the hurry-up is the norm. So as we both you and I expected them to come up to the line very quick, but they didn't. And even when they did, the play choice did not result in large chunks of field, but instead of passes and runs that remained inside the field, and they burned a lot of time. 21 seconds and 1 timeout left for Coach Carlsen. Once again, Schwartz looking for the receivers on the left side. Then he has an open receiver on the right side, and it is number 89 that appeared to push at the beginning of the play, Andreas Pasche. And finally, there is a flag. Let's watch, Dario. I had the feeling that Pasche pushed off the man covering him. Let's see if this is the call. We will not be able. Yes, there it is. You see that it looks like an obvious offensive pass interference, but of course we are not the referees. Number 16. Elia
Pass
Krami.
interference on offense number 81. 15 yards penalty. Repeat, third down.
89, I think, was the number that the referee was intending. So our analysis of the play was correct. Not a penalty that we see often in general at all levels of football, the offensive pass interference. Normally, it is only called when it is really evident.
Yeah, but today we can see a great mismatch between the outside receivers and the cornerbacks, with both receivers around between 15 and 20 centimeters taller than the cornerbacks. So there is a mismatch in physicality that probably is the reason for this outcome, with the cornerbacks pushed far from the receivers.
Schwarz goes back to pass. He's looking for number 89, and this time he finds him. So Andreas Pasche only takes one play to apologize for his penalty with this wonderful reception that is in first down territory. So first down and 10, and I believe Coach Carlsen has called his last, will call his last timeout. Otherwise, as soon as the referees blow the whistle, there is only 1 second left on the clock. Dario, the ball is being brought back for some reason. Probably
Holding, offense number 68. 10-yard penalty, repeat, third down.
so nullified the reception by Pasche. Apologies, as we did not pick up the flag on this play. Nikolai Stiborg, offensive lineman, number 68 of Denmark, the guilty party. And I would imagine that unless we want to go with some Hail Mary pass, Dario, the Danish offense will just sit on the ball with only 1 second left. And we will immediately pass the microphone to Manfredi on the sideline.
Team Denmark.
Here, Team.
That's their third and last team timeout this half.
Probably Coach Carlsen wants to talk about it with his guys and decide what they want to run on this final play. I would not be surprised if maybe something up his sleeve.
Yep. After seeing this aggressiveness about onside kicks, 4 down played, I will expect some trickery, like some hook and ladder or similar. I don't want to bet on a kneel down.
1 second. 1 second only on the clock. Obviously puts you in a safe position that even if something goes wrong, you should not. Even if you lose the ball on a turnover, you should just make sure that the other team doesn't do anything with it, and then the half will be over. And it is a strange play with Schwarz moving around in the pocket and eventually finding the warm and comforting arms of a French player. It is also the final play of the first half. France ahead 14-7. And we wait to pass the mic to Manfredi.
Yes, Francesco, give me 1 minute that Coach Larsen is setting himself.
As soon as we finish with our halftime interviews, we will provide you with some fresh stats from the national Italian stats service led by Massimo Foglio.
Coach Lars, thanks again. Just a couple of questions. Everything is balanced between you and France in total offense and whatever, probably except penalties, except last place. Okay, it happens.
Yeah, that's kind of the game that we expected. This is a close game, tough game in there that's fighting for every single yard we can get, and so do France. There's going to be like this the next 2 quarters as well.
Alex Large is doing very well, I think, and the passing game now is a new weapon for Team Denmark.
Yeah, we finally get up and running, and it's good for us, and we will have to go back and back to it here in second half and use it even more.
Yeah, thank you very much, and good luck for the rest of the game.
Thank you.
I give you luck. Okay, guys, this is what we had from Coach Lars Carlsen. We are trying to avoid to keep the interviews too long. We will be back from the field when Team France will come back to interview again Coach Manuel Maguet. This is all for the moment.
Thank you, Manfredi. Thank you, Coach Carlsen. And here are the stats from the first half. We just received them. 9 first downs for Denmark, 6 first downs for France. Only 38 yards rushing from Denmark and 161 rushing yards from France. As we mentioned, very good French running game in the first half. 106 passing yards from Denmark and only 14 from France. Only 1 completion on 1 pass attempted that we saw in the first half, and it was the pass to Keita. Penalties, 6 for 46 for France, 5 for 40 for Denmark. Time of possession even, 11 minutes 19 for France, 12 minutes 41 for Denmark. France was 1 for 3 on third downs, and Denmark 2 for 6. Denmark also tried the 4th down and converted. Dario, some individual stats.
The leaders at passing the ball for the France is Bird with 1 for 1 for 14 yards. Schwarz on the other side throw 11 on 17 for 106 yards and 1 touchdown. At rushing, the France leader is Yanis Bacanti-Paulin with 10 carries for 123 yards with a whopping average of 12.3. On the other side, Norgård is the leading rusher for Team Denmark with 5 rushes for 20 yards. At receiving, as you mentioned before, Keita is the leader for France with 1 reception and 14 yards. On the other side, Bank is the leading receiver with 4 receptions and 47 yards. But the lone touchdown pass for Team Denmark has been scored by Steinauer. On the defensive side, the leading tackler is Pernier for France with 4.5 total tackles. On the other side, Tawake is the leader with 3 tackles.
That was the team and individual halftime stats. We take our pause and we will meet here again for the beginning of the third quarter. 15 minutes approximately from now. 14-7 France the score, and we take now a break.
Ecco Elena che lotta per l'ambiente, per la biodiversità, per un sistema di produzione sostenibile che rispetti la terra e chi la lavora. Perché il mondo si cambia con le scelte di ogni giorno. Alce Nero, agricoltori biologici dal 1978.
Qualunque oggetto, anche il più comune, può diventare un serio pericolo se usato in una maniera sbagliata. Sono più di 36.000 gli incidenti causati dalla distrazione. Mandare un semplice messaggio o rispondere a un'email mentre stai guidando l'auto può mettere in pericolo la tua vita e quella di chi ti circonda. Quando guidi, guida e basta.
RDS insieme a te. Voglia di grandi eventi.
Diversi terreni, diverse condizioni e difficoltà non ci fermano. Una vera squadra è quella che si mette in gioco, quella dove si combatte, non ci si arrende, dove si suda, per farci trovare pronti alle sfide del futuro. Quando cresci, lo fai con la squadra, fianco a fianco, insieme. Insieme è perfetto.
back online as we are only 3 minutes and a few seconds from the beginning of the third quarter, and we have Manfredi positioning himself on the French sideline to interview the French coach. Manfredi.
Here we are, friends, with Coach Maguet approaching our radio camera on the field. It's right there for you, especially for you as being a star. So, Coach, you're leading the game, but it's tough and close as expected. Denmark is passing a bit more than probably they did in the previous 2 games. Are you counter-measuring this thing?
I mean, they change their tendencies. They try to throw the ball, and we'll adjust pretty well, first half, I mean. So let's keep going like that.
Okay, the defense is performing very well, I think, even covering good passes by Alex Schwartz.
Yeah. They had a big play on the fade. I mean, but that happens when you throw the ball. So we're just gonna try to keep going like that. It's good for me. The defense play a very good game.
And the running game, the running game is tremendous.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, and you know, we had a new quarterback, so we needed time a little bit to time up everything. Today was short time to do it, but now it seems all right. So let's keep going. Nothing is sure for now.
Thank you. It's ready for kickoff. Enjoy the game. Scappiamo.
Thank you, Manfredi. And as we were mentioning, you heard from the voice of the French head coach, Emmanuel Maguet, that obviously he needed, with a new quarterback, some time to settle in. And in order to do that, he had to rely on his running game. And what a running game from Yannick Poulain that has already surpassed 100 yards. Dario, 10 rushes, 123 yards. So a whopping 12.3 yards per carry and a touchdown for Poulain that together with his offensive line, so that you are happy, are our favorites for MVP so far. Let's say that if we were voting now, they would probably be our candidates.
Absolutely, Francesco. Probably this whopping average is just about 3 big plays he has done. With just 10 carries, we cannot really mention a lot the average for carry. But the guy is having an impact, a real impact on this game.
And definitely the quality of the French running game is the reason that France is 7 points ahead as we prepare with France that will also receive the kickoff of the third quarter. Number 28, Jakob Søndergaard will kick off to number 14, Jonas Pernier, and number 16, Elia Krami, the kick returners. And we're all set. The referee blows the whistle, and we're about to start the third quarter of the third place game. Just a quick reminder, tonight at 9, the final between Austria and Sweden. The ball takes a weird bounce and is finally picked up by Pernier that flies on the left sideline, enters Danish territory, 1 man to beat, and he beats him for a touchdown, Team France! Fantastic kick return by Pernier that had to fight with a bad bounce in front of him from the ball, picked it up, crossed the field, came on the close sideline, burned at least 3 Danish players, the last of which, number 28, Jakob Søndergaard. 12 seconds have elapsed on the clock, and we have 6 more points on the board. The score is 20-7 for Team France. The kick from Chevalier is good, and the score is now 21-7. Meanwhile, number 80 for Denmark, Lukas Bach, is down on the Danish sideline and is being attended. Meanwhile, here it is. He picks it up on a bounce, goes up midfield, and then he just turns on the jets on the left sideline.
And Francesco, this is the first kickoff return for a touchdown in this tournament.
So we had the pleasure as the first play of the third quarter to bring you a kick return for a touchdown. So now it will be France and Clément Chevalier kicking off to Lucas Birk, number 12, and Magnus Bus, number 82, as the score, as France has now opened up an important lead in this game. The score reads 21-7 with only 12 seconds off the 12 minutes of the third quarter. Here's the kick from Chevalier. Not very high, and bounces at the 20-yard line. Is picked up by Birg that tries to turn on the other side of the field, but he is met by the coverage team of France. Number 89, Yassine Sifeddine. On the tackle, a loss, I believe, from the position where he actually picked up the ball. In fact, Denmark will start the offensive operations of the third quarter from the 11-yard line. First down and 10, Team Denmark. It's a pass complete to Julius Bunk for a gain of 13 yards and a Danish first down. First down, ball on the 25-yard line for the Danish offense. It is another pass. This time the intended receiver was number 3, Victor Mazzanti. The pass falls incomplete. Second and 10, Dario.
Francesco, not the best way to start the second half for Team Denmark. Now everything is more complicated and they need to score fast and to stay in the hunt of Team France.
Definitely. I think that scores at the beginning and at the end of the halves of play are the ones that have the biggest psychological impact. This time Schwarz rolls out on the left, fakes a throw, and then closes the ball and runs with it for a gain of 11 in a first down for the Danish team. Good job by Schwarz that decided not to. I'm sorry, he came out a little bit short, so it will be third down and 1. Ball on the 34-yard line. This time it is a run, and I believe that the runner advanced beyond the first down marker. It should be a first down for Denmark, and when Coach Carlsen needs some difficult yards up the middle, it's always August Lillier, the ball carrier. Big number 24 gets enough for a first down. Ball on the 36, and this time first down and 10 for Denmark. Once again a handoff to Lillier, but there is a flag from the headlinesman. Lillier has a very nice run of approximately 9 yards. He falls, according to the crew, just short of the first down. Let's see what the call is on this flag.
Offsides, defense, number 71. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is first down.
Obviously, the penalty is declined as the gain was much more than just the 5 yards, plus the generous spot of the crew allowed Denmark to gain another first down. Ball on the 46-yard line for Schwarz that goes back to pass and finds open in the middle of the field, Julius Bunk. It is a 12-yard connection for another Danish first down.
Francesco, in the afternoon in which Team Denmark decided to throw a lot more the ball, the receiver has responded in a very great way. They are playing very well and they searching for a lot of soft zones in the coverage.
First down from the French 42. It's a carry for Auguste Lillier. Some very tough yards on the right side. And I believe that also Lillier had a little problem with his pants. Some loose belts today in the game. A gain of 6 yards for Lillier that remains in the game once his equipment is fixed. And it is second down and 4 for the Danish team, Dario, that has been able, without major gains, but just their methodical play, to have a good drive. Here Lillier has a little problem of friction with the field. He falls down and comes out for being spelled by number 32, Magnus Norgard, that checks in at the running back position. Basically no gain for Lillier, and an interesting 3rd down and 6 for the Danish offense. Reverse ball to Julius Bunk that comes up on the right sideline and is met by Clément Chevalier, that with his tackle probably avoids a first down for the Danish team. Good open field tackle by Chevalier. Meanwhile, as we were watching the last plays...
Holding on the offense, number 72. 10 yards penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, 3rd down.
The last offensive play by Denmark is nullified by a holding. France accepts the penalty and pushes Denmark back to the 48, where they will play a 3rd down and 15. It's an obvious passing situation, but Schwarz is pushed out of the pocket, eventually finds Norgard, but as an effect of the very good front pressure by the French team, it's a short pass, definitely not first down material. It is a gain of approximately 7 that gives us a 4th down and 8 yards to go for the Danish team that doesn't even think of punting this ball.
But there's no way to think about it. They are too deep in the field. They are too far behind in the score. So it's time to play the 4th down.
Ball on the 41-yard line for the Danish team. Schwarz looking for an open receiver. The man that he was looking for was Andreas Pasche. He never had control of the ball. It is an incomplete and a first down France. I was saying that during this past Danish drive, we have witnessed the arrival of the 5th place team, the Finnish team, that is just taking his position here in the stands. Let's see if our crew can give us a shot in the stands of the Finnish team that beat Spain 13-9 on the right side from our viewpoint. First down and 10, France, 41-yard line. The handoff is for Yanis Polin. Stopped in his tracks for no gain by number 45, the linebacker David Helqvist from the Copenhagen Towers. 18 years for David.
Team France is ready to play the 2nd down.
Again, Poulin with the carry. Again, no gain, actually a small loss on the play. It should be a 3rd down and 11 coming up. Third down and 11. France breaks out of the huddle, and of course, Dario, as you here it is a shot of Team Finland here in the stadium. As you have certainly noticed, France is slowing things down now that they're up by 14. This time, a run on the right side of the field for Redval Keita that takes by surprise the Danish defense. Probably expecting some kind of pass play, or at least not this type of run on a fake in the middle, and then Keita coming up from left to right, picking up the ball and not stopping before he is tackled on the 36-yard line. First down and 10 from France. Motion for Nikolai Brosola, but the ball is in the sure hands. Motion for Audrey Clicquot, but the ball is in the sure hands of Yanis Poulain for a gain of over 10 yards and another first down for Team France.
The French coaching staff is doing a great job setting the run to close the defense inside the box and then to find some room to run on the outside.
First and 10 from the 23 for Team France. This time the quarterback Baird is rolling out. He's finding the sideline. He seemed to go out of bounds, but then he decides to go upfield, and it is another French first down. It should be first down and goal with this very good 17-yard run for the French team. First and goal, from the 7-yard line, almost the 6-yard lines from the French team that is once again knocking at the door of the Danish team. And some movement called by the center judge that threw the flag. I was saying France has been able to take control of this game and now come extremely close to scoring again by basically never putting the ball up in the air, Dario.
Francesco, the Danish defense is very physical.
There's no foul for illegal substitution. Disregard the flag. We have still first down.
The defense is very physical, has a lot of strength, but French is answering with a lot of speed, and the Danish defense is really suffering the speed, especially on the outside.
France pushed back 5 yards by the penalty. Once again, Baird goes back, looks to pass, then decides to run on the left sideline near us. He is stopped a few times, but he's able to roll twice, and I believe land at the either very close or inside the end zone. I believe that the mark has been made, and he is at the half-yard line. What a wonderful run by the French quarterback. It will be second and goal, and you will see by the replay that at least twice we had the impression that he would be taken down. Dario, here the fact that he's a defensive back and that he's probably more used to move around and dance around on the field came to the aid of Beard that sent looking for butterflies at least 2 Danish defenders. Let's see what comes up here. Second down and goal. The big man, number 40, Florian Monduc, already 1 touchdown for him today.
Team France. That's team timeout number 1.
First timeout for Team France. Dario, back to you while we hope, here it is, the wonderful run by Baird. You see, he comes back, and I don't think he really has any intention to pass. He calls for some blockers. Here, he looks to be tackled, but he flips on himself with this wonderful almost 360, and then finally David Tawake takes him down, but not before he has gained 12 yards and put France in this very, very advantageous second down and goal from the 1 yard line.
But Francesco, I thought that it was an intended pass play, but after the first reading, without any receiver available, probably he decided not to take a risk with this short field behind him, and decided to take the ball in his hands and try to do something without taking, as I said, any kind of risk. Don't forget that this guy is not, at the first glance, a quarterback, so better not to force the ball in double coverage.
Still Monduc taking the ball, lowering his head, his helmet, and strolling basically untouched into the end zone for the 4th score today for the French team that is now taking a very big lead in this game. 27-7, the score in favor of Team France as we await for Clément Chevalier's extra point. Dario, we were expecting some kind of response from the Danish team that was hit while they were still cold by the wonderful return, by the wonderful kick return by Pernier. Not a lot from an offensive standpoint from Denmark on their first possession, and France that comes right back to their running game, mixing inside runs to an external running game that has taken Denmark by surprise every time. And now with the second touchdown of the day for Florian Monduc, number 40. 3:44 to play, and a score that honestly we did not expect. 28-7 France.
Francesco, I think that France is showing too much velocity on the field for Team Denmark. They are really fast, both sides of the ball. They are running with great speed and with great willingness, and there's no way for the Danish defense to stop them. On the other side is some kind of bend but not break defense for the Team France. He has allowed some yards to a very balanced offense by Team Denmark, but they cannot score.
Once again, Bjerg and Boos back for Denmark, but the ball rolls out of the field of play, so it will be a first down and 10 on the 35 for Denmark. I agree with your analysis, and looking also as we...
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team, 5-yard penalty, free kick.
So Denmark elects to make France a re-kick. I was saying as we also look into tonight's final game, 28 points from the French offense, okay, 7 from the special teams, but still 21 points from the French offense that was kept scoreless by the Swedish defense. Maybe as we look also to tonight's game, Sweden's defense is something that the Austrian offense will have its hands full as now we are seeing the true capacity of the French offense. Meanwhile, some confusion from the Danish team. The ball, of course, on a kickoff is live as soon as it passes 10 yards. It was recovered by the Danish team that should have some really good field position, but some moments of panic for Denmark that almost lost the handle on this kickoff. So first down and 10 for Denmark, ball on the 43-yard line for Alex Schwartz. $18 years of age, 1 meter 85 per 87 kilograms. The Triangle Razorbacks are the club team of Alex Schwartz. Some confusion on the Danish sideline. In fact, the referees are stopping the play. Another flag came onto the field this time by the back judge.
Denmark, number 11, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And as it is almost always the case, Dario, when the back judge loses a yellow piece of fabric, it's because the time clock has gone to 0. 5 yards back for Denmark. Not a good way to start. 1st and 10. Schwarz back to pass, looking for Lillier.
Francesco, from a tactical standpoint, finally Team France has switched on a nickel defense. Probably they know that now Team Denmark needs to throw the ball a lot, needs to score fast, and so the running game will be not the first glance, the first choice for them.
So a defense more focused on preventing the pass from France. As we saw, the first play of the drive was a pass and it was incomplete to Lillier. Now Lillier goes back into his more natural role of power runner. The gain is 5 yards. The ball is back at the original line of scrimmage, but this will be a 3rd down and 10 for Team Denmark. Meanwhile, number 51 from France is down, Stéphane Carden, a linebacker, 18 years of age for Stéphane, 1.79 m for 100 kilograms from the Pôle France Révolution. He seems to be a victim of cramps, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, looking at what the trainers are doing, for sure is a cramp to the calf, to the left calf.
Let's just say that we don't want to see any player down, but that if we have to have a player down, this is probably the best type of injury that a football player can hope for.
Basically, you cannot define it as an injury. It's just a condition.
Meanwhile, a very nice breeze is keeping us company, and even though the field temperature is 30 degrees, the weather is very friendly. Of course, especially here in the stands where we are covered by the sun, but also on the field we can see a lot of flags moving around, giving us the impression of a nice breeze. Meanwhile, Lillier once again trying to make way up the middle, well defended by the French defensive line. No gain, or actually maybe 1 yard gain. This time, unfortunately, it is Auguste Lillier, the player, down on the ground. The referee timeout. 4th down coming up for the Danish team, and I believe that Coach Carlsen is once again, Dario, thinking of going for it on this 4th down. 2:55
I agree, Francesco. Now is a 4th down situation, and there's no reason for them not to play it. A punt will get their offense off the field, and they need to score. And basically, their defense has facing really hard times to stop the French offense. So there's no way that Coach Carlsen could elect to punt this ball.
Here is probably the play where Lillier initially hurt himself. It was on the 1st down on the missed catch. He carried again the ball here on the 2nd and 3rd down, but he looked somewhat slower than his usual self. He was able to step out to the field on his own power, and in a surprising fashion. Dario, as always, we're wrong, because Lasse Torso, number 16, the Danish punter, is out to kick the ball. I think number 16, Elia Crame, is back to kick. It's a fake. It's a pass for number 3, Victor Mazzanti, that catches the ball. He actually caught it short of a 1st down, but turned around, and it's a basketball pass, almost like when you feed the center underneath the board. David Tawake to Mazzanti, the connection. And Dario, Coach Carlsen surprised everyone in the stadium, including our cameras and ourselves, with this trick play that Team France was not able to stop. 1st down and 10, 45-yard line. Alex Schwarz back to pass. He has number 89, Andreas Pasche, on the right side, tackled immediately by number 16, Elia Crame.
2 yards gain for number 84.
Second down and 7 on the way for Team Denmark. Meanwhile, the clock is winding down on the end of this quarter. 1:40 to play here in Arcoveggio. Alex Schwartz receives the ball. Once again, it's a handoff to Magnus Norgard. Dario, a strange game plan by Coach Carlsen. The ball in the air a little bit more on the first drive, and then this, let's say, return to the, in fact, the touchdown, the lone touchdown by Denmark was also on a pass play. But now back to what basically amounts to a running game. Meanwhile, 3rd down and 5. Schwartz this time needs to put the ball in the air. He does. He completes, and it's a 1st down for Denmark. Julius Bunk. Dario.
Francesco, as we mentioned before, Team France switch on a nickel defense, a nickel package. So probably Coach Carlsen wants to stay put on the ground to make the French defense to come back to a base package. Probably the chess play is about that.
1st and 10 already for Denmark. Meanwhile, you saw the replay of Bunk's reception. Very good movement from him to find some open space behind the line. Flag on the play. Play stopped. Penalty on the offense.
False start. Offense, number 64. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Not the first time on this drive that Denmark has to absorb 5 yards back on 1st down. Meanwhile, if I can get our broadcast team to give us a shot, I believe Team Austria is entering Arcoveggio Stadium. 1st and 15 for Denmark. Back, Schwartz, back to play. Looks for, and I think he found number 84, Julius Bunk.
And probably, Francesco, you were right, and it looks like a complete pass to Bunk. Really nice job by him taking his foot on the ground before coming out of bounds.
Thank you to our broadcast team that is always very on the ball and always basically gives us everything that we ask, including this shot for the Austrian fans, perhaps
this is
that
the end
are
of
watching.
the 3rd quarter.
Meanwhile, we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter. Great concentration by Bunk, Dario, on that ball that was almost intercepted, but then tipped. Here it is by the French defender, number 16, Elia Krame. Good job by Bunk that was able to complete the reception.
We have praised the Danish receivers before, and I want to go on doing that because they're really playing a solid game tonight, this afternoon.
Denmark needs to score right here on this drive as they're down 3 touchdowns. They have a very complex job ahead of them also on the defensive side, stopping the French game. But I think that if they want to have any chance to re-enter the possibility of winning this bronze medal game, they need some points on this drive, Dario, because they need 3 drives with touchdowns.
I agree with you, Francesco. French offense should not be a factor in this game for them. They make their offense to stay on the field in every way if they want to win.
Schwartz keeps the ball himself, gains a good chunk of yards, not for a 1st down, but 5 yards is the result of this quarterback keeper, and we are now looking at a 3rd down and 2 for the Danish team.
Interesting stats.
Schwartz gives some signals to his center, comes back, flips the ball to number 30, David Espersen, that comes out on the left side, and I think he has enough for the 1st down. Manfredi.
Yes, we have a total offense similar in terms of gain, but completely different in terms of plays, because France played 26 plays and 234 yards, while Denmark is a double, 50 plays, 239 yards, so almost the same. What is different is the passing game, because France is a one-on-one and Denmark is
Meanwhile,
18 on.
is intercepted by number 16, Ilaya Krame. And so this drive for Denmark ends abruptly. Back to you, Manfredi.
Yeah, and now with this correction is 18 on 28 with 2 interceptions. So Denmark is really passing a lot, but they are not probably doing in the way they expected.
Good job on this play by Krame that stayed in the position and basically covered the Spanish receiver, the Danish receiver that was Julius Bunk on a slant, stayed at home and covered it. He picked the ball up almost from the ground. He may have been tipped slightly, but the result of the play, it's an interception, Dario, and exactly what Denmark did not need happened as the French offense is back on the field, and we can expect a healthy dose of running. And in fact, here it is, number 30, Redval Keita taking over on the right sideline. And you mentioned it, too much speed for Denmark today. Touchdown, Team France, that closes off this third place game with their 5th score of the day, 34-7. As we now wait for the PAT, and
it's an 85-yard run for Keita that puts himself to 142 yards and good for leading his team at this moment. A terrible blow for Team Denmark. They have done in 2 plays all the things that he shouldn't have to do. Now it's really hard. It's a four-score game, and it looks very close to impossible to overcome for them. In the meanwhile, the kick is good, so France is leading the way 35-7 against Team Denmark.
2 interceptions today, Krame and Chevalier, the interceptors for Team France. Meanwhile, once again, you mentioned it quite correctly, Dario, too much speed for Denmark. Redval Keita turns on the afterburners on the near sideline and goes all the way for 6 points. 35-7 is the score, and the signal that this is a really bad game from Denmark is the fact that we have basically just started the final quarter of play, Dario, and France has already 2 running backs with more than 100 yards.
The strange fact is that this team is 100% committed to the run. Just 1 pass play in 3 quarters, but no way for Team Denmark to find a way to stop both runs outside and inside. They cannot stop both situations. Just one, and usually the other one makes a lot of damage in their backfield.
The fact that 2 runners have been able to go over 100 is a testament to what you were mentioned before, and that is the fantastic job of the French offensive line that is opening holes for all the runners. Quite often today we have seen that the first hands that Denmark is able to put on the French runner happen already in the second level. It's often the linebackers and not the defensive linemen that are the first one able to touch the runners. Lots of running space today for the French team, and as you were mentioning, the French team that has only thrown the ball once today. As a reminder, if we ever needed one, that in football, if you are capable of doing something very well, you don't need much more else in order to win a game. You just need to execute well what you know.
Absolutely, Francesco. They're executing about I think 2 or 3 plays, not more than that, with some nuances, but. The concept are just 2, inside run and an outside run. And they're doing perfectly, basically perfectly. There's no way for Team Denmark to stop them.
Meanwhile, some flags on display, a long discussion on the Danish sideline for today's refereeing crew. We should be approaching the moment where the referee will tell us all
We
about
have two fouls on the play. The first one is live ball, offsides, kicking team. That's a 5 yards penalty and re-kick. We have dead ball foul, personal foul, late hit. On returning team, number 26, 15 yards penalty will be applied to the kickoff.
So, 5 yards on France and 15 on Denmark. The end result is 10 yards extra for the kicking team for France that will evidently, as you can see, kick off Clément Chevalier from the 45. Bunk and Bjerg deep, almost on the goal line for Denmark, but it is a very short, high and short kick for France that does not want a return and was perhaps trying to surprise Denmark. Nikolaj Nielsen, defensive back number 19, caught the kick by Clemenceau and basically just kneeled down. First down and 10 for Team Denmark. Stunned by the very, very surprising result and score, 35-7. And Coach Carlsen has decided to make a change at the quarterback position, as he has done in almost every game, actually I believe in every game that Denmark has played so far. It is not Alex Schwartz anymore, it is Christopher Carstens, the quarterback, number 18.
So spread formation for Team Denmark at the 2nd and 10. Carsten throwing the ball.
Nice catch by Steinauer, number 14, still up. I think he actually lost a little bit of ground because he started running east-west instead of north-south. But he eventually got enough for a Danish first down, Dario, on the 44-yard line.
Yeah, the receiver was searching for some room to run the ball and taking some extra yards.
Again, Carstens is the quarterback. And for the second play in a row, the French defense is able to get to him. Number 98, Christopher Fontenaire. Defensive lineman, 18 years of age, from the Pôle France Révolution, 1.90 m for 130 kilos, was able to bat the ball down. Incomplete pass for Denmark.
And there's another interception for Carlsen. This time it was number 14, Jonas Pernier. Another interception, and this time is...
You can see here in the replay, not a lot of change between the old and the new quarterback, as on the third play of his first drive at quarterback, Carstens throws the third Danish pick of the day. So Pernier, Cramé and Chevalier, basically the entire French backfield with an interception today, Dario.
Yeah, Team Denmark cannot afford to throw picks instead of touchdowns.
And France continues with their very effective running game. The handoff is to number 40, Florian Monduc, already 2 touchdowns for him today. More than 10 yards on this run. First down and 10 from the 44 for Team France.
There's no reason for Team France to change their game plan, and so we can see another run play in the very last one. Another inside run for Team France and approximately 5 yards gain on the field by number 14, Florian Monduc.
France is going to the big guy in this part of the game. 1 meter 80 per 103 kilograms for the 18-year-old from the Pôle France Révolution. Actually, France is not even waiting until the full extent of the time clock, so they are not yet in total, let's say, time control mode. This time it's a pass on the left side to number 83, Gabin Le, also from the Pôle France Révolution, and it is a first down for Team France that will snap the next ball from the 34-yard line.
Francesco, in this drive, Team France is showing finally a different look at offense with 3 receivers and quite a different formation, but the game plan is always the same with a lot of inside runs. We have seen the second pass attempt by Bird, but the plan is always the same, basically because this team is built for running the ball.
4 yards on the gain on this last run play. Once again, this time the runner is number 27, Audrien Clicquot, looking for the right sideline, has a first down and more as he is pushed out of bounds on the 14-yard line for a gain of 16 and a first down and 10 for France, once again visiting the Danish red zone, as it has been often the case today.
The struggles at containing the outside runs for Danish defense continues. We have seen a lot of time that the defensive end was cut by the block of the receiver.
Once again, an attempt to pass the ball on the left side. This time the pass was intended for number 81. David Traoré is incomplete. It will be second down and 10 coming up for Maceo Baird and Team France. My apologies, 5 yards were lost on the play, so the play was considered as a backward pass, so the ball was live, recovered by France, second and 15, handoff to Audrien Clicquot, looking again to exploit the sideline, this time the far sideline, but also this time it's well guarded by the Danish defense, only a small gain of 2 yards that will make this next play third down and 13 for Team France. No receivers in this formation. It's a straight ahead run for Clicquot. Number 4 emerges from the scrum. It is the linebacker number 18, August Perry, for Denmark, stopping the play on its tracks and making the next play a fourth down and long, fourth down and 12 yards to go approximately. Three, 2, 1 delay of game, I think, will be called against Team France unless, yeah, timeout was called.
Timeout, Team France. That's the timeout number 2.
We had the feeling that Team France was taking a bit too long in the huddle, and their sidelines, fortunately for them, noticed that the clock was almost expiring and was able to call the second timeout. Only 5:31 to play in this game that I believe Dario has already told us who will be the third team the gold medal team of this Euro 2019.
I agree, Francesco. I think that it's very, very, very hard for Team Denmark to overcome these 4 scores with just 5:31 on the clock.
And also
basically also because we haven't seen their offense moving the ball really a lot tonight.
We were expecting a tight game, and it wasn't, and it was not because of a very, very good performance by the French offense that with their third-strength quarterback and basically no passing game was able to. This is a direct snap to number 40 that gave the ball back to number 30, Keita Redval. The pass was for their quarterback, number 8, Maceo Baird, but the play was well read by the Danish defense. Flag on the play. Direct snap to Monduk that gave the ball back to Keita. The forward pass was for Baird, well short of the first down.
Ineligible man downfield on the offense, number 65. That penalty is declined. First down, Denmark.
As it is the case sometimes when you try these very complex trick plays, a portion of the offensive line went down too far. The result of the play is a first down for Team Denmark. Ball on the 12-yard line, and the quarterback remains number 18, Christopher Carstens. Twin left, twin right for Coach Lassen. It is obviously very difficult now for Denmark, also because France is in a sort of prevent defensive formation that will allow small gains but will try and negate obviously the big gain. David Espersen, number 30, the ball carrier for Denmark. Gain of 3 on the play, 2nd and 7. Still Espersen in the backfield. This time it is a pass. The intended receiver was number 89, Pasque. Not a lot of synchronization between quarterback and receiver as the ball fell a few yards behind the intended receiver. 3rd down and 7 coming up for Team Denmark. That I think, Dario, for the first time today looks as if they have conceded the match to their opponents. The non-verbal of the Danish team kind of tells us that probably they are not in this game anymore. And of course, as soon as that was our supposition, we have a wonderful diving catch by number 89, Andreas Pasque. Fantastic athletic gesture by this H-back of almost 2 meters that dives for a first down. 1st and 10, exactly on the 30-yard line for Denmark. Carstens rolls out on the right, looks for an open receiver. This time it's Pasque again. He rumbles ahead for 9 yards in a 2nd down and 1, 2nd down and 2 coming up for Team Denmark. Four-man front for France, once again putting pressure. The ball is for David Espersen that runs with it and gains sufficient yardage to move the chains again. Denmark nearing midfield, clock that stops for the time necessary for the referees to put the ball back down. 3:35 to play and ticking. 1st and 10 on the 48 for Denmark. It is a pass play for Carstens that rolls right again. Pasque, the intended receiver. This time, Ilaya Crame, already one interception for him today.
Francesco Pasque is on fire in this end of the fourth quarter.
He seems to be, his quarterback seems to be locked on number 89, Dario, you're right, in this portion of the game. Reverse ball to number 84, Julius Bunk, that finds the right sideline. A gain of 16 and a first down and 10 for Team Denmark on the 34. Good play here by Team Denmark, and Coach Carlsen does not give up his really aggressive style, full of different tricks. Handoff to Magnus Norgard, coming towards the near sideline, the Danish sideline. Good gain for him on this run. 5 yards, 2nd and 5 for Denmark.
Probably with some backups on the field in the French defense. Finally, the Danish offense start to have some sparks.
Some sort of rhythm. This time Carstens rolls out left. Finds once again number 14, Jonas Pernier, for his 2nd interception of the day. 4th from the French team. Pernier still up on the 40, on the 30, on the 20, on the 10. Touchdown, Team France. Dario, maybe we should stop.
Yes. We have to stop to praise the Danish defense, the Danish offense.
Apologies
sorry.
to our Danish friends at home. Once again, 4th interception today by a Danish quarterback.
I think, Francesco, too much punishment for them. I think that they don't deserve this kind of punishment. They haven't played so bad. At the beginning of the fourth quarter, the total scoring, the total offense between the two teams was quite similar. So these 4 interceptions, these 4 turnaways, has paid a lot of price for the Team Denmark, but they don't deserve this 35 points differential on the scoreboard.
42-7 with the PAT by Chevalier. 2:07 to play. Meanwhile, in the center of your screen, the replay of the return by Jonas Pernier. He is a defensive back, but he has very good hand skills. He is not by mistake the one of the 2 kick returners for Coach Emmanuel Maguet, that today definitely chose the right game plan. 42-7 the score. Good play from France, both on offense and defense. Again, Chevalier ready to kick off after the 6th French touchdown today. Only one the score for Denmark, 42-7. It's again a short kick. It's picked up by Lillier on the left sideline. He eludes a first French defender, and it is then accompanied out of bounds by number 84, Terence Manigold. First and 10 for Team Denmark, 2:03 to play. Ball spotted on the 44-yard line. Still Christopher Carstens at quarterback. Low snap, immediate handoff to David Espersen. Gain of 3 yards, 2nd and 7 coming up. Again,
another tipped pass. This time it was Yacine Benoit, the linebacker, 18 years old from De La Courneuve Flash. Another great job by the French defense defending the Danish pass offense.
3rd down and 7 for Team Denmark. Norgard in the backfield with Carstens. Victor Mazzanti isolated on the left side. 2 wide receivers on the right. One of these 2 wide receivers is number 84, Julius Bunk. Good catch. 8 yards, the gain on the play. 1st down, Team Denmark. Carstens, back to pass, has deep Mazzanti. The pass falls incomplete thanks to the good coverage of number 10, Paul Meunier. 17 years for Meunier, also from the Pôle France Révolution. 2nd and 10 for Team Denmark.
A little bit overthrown this pass by Carsten. Good job because it was a double coverage, so better to overthrow and not take the risk of another pick.
Motion for Steinauer from right to left. Carstens steps up into the pocket, looks again to Bunk, that gave us for a moment the impression of having beaten his man, number 24, Louis Triboulet. The ball was slightly overthrown, but I think that Bunk kind of slowed down in the second half of his pattern because this looked to be a very nice completion for Denmark. It was not the case. 3rd down and 10 coming up, 56 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter of this one-sided 3rd place game. Again, a pass, this time complete. Pasque, the receiver.
Now Kasper, complete the pass. First down, Denmark.
18 yards on the completion. 1st and 10 for Denmark.
Francesco Pasque refuses to give up to this game.
End off this time for David Espersen. Denmark still has all 3 timeouts, but has decided not to use them. A little more trouble with the equipment for some Danish players.
2nd and 10, Team Denmark.
Again, Carstens back to pass. Looks into the end zone. He has open Victor Mazzanti for a moment. The ball perhaps should have been a little bit with some more zip on it. It is instead a little bit slow, the pass, and it allows the French secondary to come back towards the receiver. We remind you that we will have immediately at the end of this game interviews and the MVP voting with Manfredi Leone from the sideline. 3rd and 10 for Denmark. Carstens steps up into the pocket and this time finds Victor Mazzanti, wide receiver, 19 years of age, 1 meter and 94 per 90 kilograms from the Triangle Razorbacks, and at least as a small form of consolation, touchdown Denmark, 42-13 the score, with Sondergaard on the field to try the extra point. Manfredi, I think your microphone is open.
Yes, sorry guys.
Ah, okay. So, a nice one-hand catch. Unfortunately, the referees had blown the whistles and had thrown some flags. Very nice one-hand catch by Pasque. So,
False start on the offense. The offense never said Repeat, try.
A surprising two-point conversion by the Danish team, down by 31 down by 29 at this point. In fact, now France sets for this passing play. It is similar to the one before. It is a very nice lob pass from Alex Schwarz to Andreas Pasche. 2 points for Denmark, and score then now reads 42 for France and 15 for Denmark. 3 seconds to play. Let's watch the replay of this very nice pass. Also, nice catch from Mazzanti. Dario, you mentioned it before. We were expecting Denmark to exploit much more this height advantage of the Danish receivers that are all extremely tall, 1.90 m and higher, against the shorter French secondary, and instead it was the French secondary that responded with a wonderful game with multiple picks and basically sealed the game with interceptions every time that Denmark showed basically its presence in the French portion of the field.
Francesco, if you want to exploit this kind of mismatches and matchups, you need accuracy by your quarterbacks, and this afternoon the quarterbacks for Team Denmark has lacked a lot about accuracy.
I agree. Let's now watch this kickoff from the Danish team that should be the last play of this third place game immediately after the game. Once again, we have our man on the field, Manfredi Leone, ready to tell us the MVPs and obviously to have some words with the player, the offensive and the defensive MVP from this game. Once again.
Yeah, Francesco, first we will have a little surprise.
Sondergaard with a kick.
Team France was really
I don't think the ball traveled the 10 yards because it was down on the 44, but I don't see any signal from the refereeing crew. So, as you heard from Manfredi, we will have a special celebration. At
Illegal touching. The ball didn't travel 10 yards. First and 10, Italy. I'm sorry, France.
As soon as the teams will line up at the 45, opposite 45-yard lines, a special award will be given to Coach Carlsen for the 50th time head coach of the Danish national teams, and also 25 years he will celebrate as a head coach of the Danish national team. So this is what we will be seeing. Unfortunately, probably Coach Carlsen was hoping to celebrate his 25 years as coach and his 50 games also as head coach in a much more positive occasion. But Denmark is still the fourth team to finish this Euro Championship.
Claudio!
Final score, 42-15.
This is the end of the game.
For France. Dario, overall a very good performance on both sides of the ball from Team France that really deserved the win today. Both the offense and the defense of the French team. I really liked the level of play that they expressed in today's game.
I agree, Francesco. Two sides of the ball, very well managed, well coached, well executed. They have done everything in the best way they could. No problems for them to run against this Danish defense, no problem for them to stop the Danish offense. Everything has clicked in a perfect way for them, and they deserved this bronze medal.
So, friends, we are ready to give something special to Coach Lars Carlsen. Coach Carlsen, come here, please.
Manfredi, can you please both hold the microphones, you and Gianluca, so also the people in the stadium? Yeah, thank you.
Please, Gianluca, come close to me because I have to. Give me your mic. Give me your mic. So, for both the stadium and the TV, I am really honored with Marie Solag. She will present these flowers, and I will present this little box that you have to open, because this is to celebrate your career with the 50 game as a head coach of national team in Denmark, and 25 years, a long career, and we are very proud for you, and congratulations to achieve this outcome. And we know that you like Italy, and we have already something, so this machine is going for you to be something interesting, I think. When you are done, you can show it to the general attendance. So, it's a coffee machine, so please show it. It's to celebrate your long career in football and the friendship with the football family. The Danish Federation as well is giving a plate for this celebration. Congratulations, Coach.
And we know you like wine, so...
And even wine, so you have coffee, you need some cheese probably to complete the dinner. And this is not edible, you can just smell. Congratulations, please give us a big applause for this great guy who's serving football since a long time. Thank you, Coach Carlsen. Now we can go back to the MVP calling. Please, Gianluca Corti. Congratulations. So give us a few words, comment your game today.
I'm very happy for this game. C'était quoi la question?
He is very happy for sure. Tu vas être content.
Ouais. I'm very happy for this title, and I have a good game.
Thank you very much. Please have your plates. So, Gianluca, let's go with the other.
And the other MVP for the offense is number 30!
Congratulations. It was a tough game, and then you definitely took off.
Yeah, it was very hard, but l'objectif a été rempli. Hein. L'objectif a été rempli. Et voilà. The goal is accomplished, so it's good for us.
Okay, thank you very much. You're really emotions live from the stadium, so thank you for being with us. You have the 2 MVP. Thank you very much, guys. Take a rest, take a shower. Congratulations. Now we will follow with the coaches. Hopefully I can have again Coach Maguire on my microphone. Please, Coach. Yeah. You said before you're going to be a star. Now you have for sure the start and the third place. Yeah, won. So, Coach, just a few words about the game you played.
I mean, we had a good game, obviously, winning the bronze medal. I'm very proud of the kid. I love those kids. They were tremendous for 2 weeks. So that's their win. That's not our win. That's their win. They did a great job.
Was a tough game, but at a certain point you took off.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a tough game, and we told the kid, I mean, at some point somebody's going to score point, and that might be the turning point. And we did, and we felt on the right side, so that's good for us.
Congratulations again for the third place, Coach. So I will have probably Coach Lars in 1 minute. I leave you the line for some comments, and I will be back to you soon.
Thank you, Manfredi. We are going now to the some team stats. 23 first downs for Denmark, 13 for France, but only 118 rushing yards for Denmark and 337 for France. 253 passing yards for Denmark, 25 only for France, but 343 the French quarterback. Total yards almost the same, 371 Denmark, 362 France. In terms of penalties, 8 for 56 France, 11 for 89 Denmark. 22 minutes for France, 25 for Denmark. Time of possessions, 2 for 5 France on third downs, 9 for 15 Denmark. Manfredi, back to you.
Thank you, guys. Coach Lars, you have a lot of gift in your hands. Probably you're missing the gift, the biggest was the third place, but the game was tough. Indeed, France, they did well. Give us your comment.
France is a really good team. We had to play a full game. We cannot play a half games or take plays off here and there. We have to play a full game every single down, and we wasn't able to do that. No doubt about it. All the gifts I get is appreciated. I would like to change it in for victory, but it's appreciated.
You have a long career on your back, and you are a good coach. Absolutely, you deserve this, all these things. And what's your thought about your experience in football?
I've been here 25 years, and I have enjoyed every single minute I've been in this one, and I'm going to be here as long as it's possible. I'm enjoying life, I'm enjoying football. I will be here as long as possible.
So even losing the game, you see in this face a smile and a guy who really likes to be in this community and work for this. Thank you very much, Coach. Enjoy the rest of the night, and we'll see we will win the final tournament. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. This is all for us. We will be back here at 9 o'clock p.m. with the other final. The live stream is going to be ready for 8:30 p.m. So it's going to be 1 hour stop. And that's it for Manfredi from the field is all. Thank you.
Thank you, Manfredi. Let's take a quick look to the individual leaders. At passing, Bird for France is 2 for 2 with 21 yards. On the other side, Schwartz leads the Team Denmark with 17 on 27, 155 yards, 1 touchdown, but 2 interceptions. Receiving, Kita is the French leader with 1 for 14 yards. On the other side, Pasque leads Team Denmark with 8 receptions, 74 yards. At rushing, Keita 142 yards, and Pauline 136 yards, very close between them. On the other side, Lilly is the leading rusher for Team Denmark with 11 carries and 39 net yards. On defense, for Team Denmark, Tawake is the leading tackler with 5 tackles. On the other side, Triboulet is the leading tackler with 6.5 tackles, but the leading defender is Pernier, the MVP, with 5.5 total tackles, 2 interceptions, 1 defensive touchdown, and 1 kickoff return for another touchdown.
So those were your individual statistics from today's game. Once again, the final score is France 42, Denmark 15. So France ends this Euro 2019 in third place and Denmark in fourth. As we remind you that at 9 o'clock we will have the kickoff of the main entree of this very long Sunday football menu, the final between Austria and France. Also for Manfredi Leone and Dario Grippa, this is Francesco Porcello saying good afternoon to everyone and see you in approximately 1 hour on the frequencies of FIDAF TV.
Ecco Elena che lotta per l'ambiente, per la biodiversità, per un sistema di produzione sostenibile che rispetti la terra e chi la lavora. Perché il mondo si cambia con le scelte di ogni giorno. Alce Nero, agricoltori biologici dal 1978.
Qualunque oggetto, anche il più comune, può diventare un serio pericolo se usato nella maniera sbagliata. Sono più di 36.000 gli incidenti causati dalla distrazione. Mandare un semplice messaggio o rispondere a un'email mentre stai guidando l'auto può mettere in pericolo la tua vita e quella di chi ti circonda. Quando guidi, guida e basta.
RDS insieme a te. Voglia di grandi eventi.
Diversi terreni, diverse condizioni e difficoltà non ci fermano. Una vera squadra è quella che si mette in gioco, quella dove si combatte, non ci si arrende, dove si suda per farci trovare pronti alle sfide del futuro. Quando cresci, lo fai con la squadra, fianco a fianco, insieme. Insieme è perfetto.